I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 438. Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Well, hello, all my dear friends all over the world. How are you today? Let me tell you what, I got a lot I want to talk to you about, but I want to tell you what's been going on for me. Because in the summer, I have a lot of celebrating going on. And that is really what I want to talk about today. I talk about it a lot with you, is how to celebrate without overeating. I talk a lot about that. And what I want to talk about here is how much celebrating I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to do it and how I can teach you how to celebrate bigger, better, and smarter. So here's the deal. The kickoff in the summer starts at the end of July with my birthday, which I told you about last week. And I took my family and we went to Lake Michigan and we spent a glorious time. I had the whole thing planned, so I got everything I wanted. And it truly was a wonderful celebration. And the thing is that when I was younger, one of the things I used to think about this kickoff of my birthday, and I'm calling it a kickoff because first it's my birthday, and then it's my anniversary. My husband and I have now been married for 45 years, and I can hardly believe it, but what a celebration that is. And once again, we're going to leave town and go to a bed and breakfast, sit on the river, and just enjoy what it's been like for each other. And what a blessing it's been to have 45 years together. And really how much better it's gotten. And then after my anniversary, then comes my husband's birthday, Michael's birthday, at the beginning of September. So basically from the end of July to the beginning of September, I used to think, and this is the reason I'm bringing it up so much, I used to think that this was the time where I would basically check out. And what I mean by checking out is disconnect from my body. And it was like I was giving myself the gift of, go ahead, overeat, junk it up. It doesn't matter. We know you're going to gain weight. We're just going to go back to Weight Watchers as soon as Michael's birthday is over to take off the weight that we gained during this time. That's how I used to talk to myself. And for many, many years, that's exactly what happened. And by the end of the celebration, I didn't feel very good. That was the main thing. And I was like, I couldn't wait to go back to Weight Watchers, mainly because I just wanted to get back on track and stop eating the way I was doing, so out of control, as if I was giving myself this gift of disconnection and overeating. Now, this is what's changed, and this is what I teach. And just a reminder to all of you, because I have a group going on right now with my Thinner Peace program, and I will be opening the doors to the next process of the Thinner Peace program in September. So if you're interested in being the next into my Thinner Peace program, you need to get on my wait list, because that's where you're going to find out the lowest prices and be the first to be able to sign up before it closes or sells out. You just need to go to drdebbutler.com/peace, PEACE. You can get on the wait list. You'll be the first for everything. The reason I'm talking about this and that is because if you're like me, then when something like this comes up, like a lot of birthdays, anniversaries, and it's involved food, you actually can change the way you think about it. It doesn't have to be a weight gaining experience or a disconnection experience. It actually can be an experience where you train your mind to savor everything. That includes the food or the moments with the people or the things that you see or the things that you do that bring great joy into your body. You teach your mind how to make it last longer and to slow everything down. I love the word savor. It is my favorite word right now. And I use it when I talk to you about joy eating. For those of you who have been following my podcast and understand my thinner peace process, one of the things that I talk about a lot is number one, eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. The other thing I talk about a lot is joy eating. Now, a joy eat, by my definition, is eating something that usually 99% of the time has no nutritious value. You don't even have to be hungry, but you enjoy it bite by bite and you stop the minute you're done. Now, on a joy eat, I want to use the word savor. Basically, all joy eating is savoring a food, slowing it down and enjoying it bite by bite and making it last as long as you can. Now, how do you make it last? You make it last by pointing your mind towards the enjoyment that you're having. So if it's a food, if it's a joy eat, you're savoring the flavor that's on your tongue, that goes down your throat. You savor it. Instead of just eating it so quickly you don't even know you ate it, you actually slow down the process of chewing it. You slow down the process of tasting it, and then you slow down the process of remembering how good it is. Now, that's one way to savor a food, and that is exactly my joy eating process. And that is one of the reasons I have learned how to stay more connected to my body and to my mind and body connection is because of this word, savor. And what I want for you is not only to be able to savor the taste of a food. In other words, you don't eat everything and anything. Like the way I used to think is, okay, I've got the next 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't really savor it. I really just kind of got it in quickly and got as much in as I could, as fast as I could, because I knew when the last birthday was over, when Michael's birthday was over, it was over. I was going to stop this whole mishigosh. I don't even know how to say it because that's really what it feels like. What I was doing is it really didn't feel good. And I really wasn't savoring anything. I was just trying to get it all in. And when I was doing that with food, I was also doing it with all the moments that were going in and out through these moments and not really pointing my mind that way either. It was in and out. And when I learned about joy, of which I teach a lot about in this podcast, is that joy is a feeling. It's created by a thought. It's not created by a food. It's not created by a thing. It's not created by a person. It's created by a thought in your mind about those things. So when it comes to, for instance, if it's potato chips, because you know it is for me, when I eat them, I savor the taste, bite by bite, enjoy the flavor, and stop the minute that I'm done. That's truly a joy eat. You savor it. Now, in these 6 to 8 weeks, if I wasn't doing that, I could be guaranteed at least a 10-pound weight gain, at least. Every year around this time, that's what I expected to happen. Goodbye, my darling Dr. Deb or Deb. Goodbye. I'm not going to talk to you for a while because you're going to be able to do whatever you want. I thought I was giving myself this wonderful gift of disconnection. And what actually I have learned how to do, and now what I teach and what I'm teaching in my group right now, in my individual clients right now, and on this podcast is the concept of savoring. So if you can savor a food, for instance, let's just say I'm singing happy birthday. It's my birthday, my grandchildren. Okay, when they sing happy birthday, there is nothing I savor more than listening to those sweet voices sing happy birthday to me. I have to have them do it 2 or 3 times because I just savor it. I close my eyes and I just feel what it feels like to have those sweet voices singing to me, their grandmother. And it means so much more to me than the cake. Now, sometimes the cake can be really, really good. I can also savor that by having a few bites, enjoying it bite by bite, stop the minute I'm done, and enjoy the taste of that cake. I can do that too. But to savor all of these celebrations means basically what I want to read to you the definition of savor. Whether it's a feeling of joy for a piece of pecan pie, when you start to savor something, you enjoy it to its fullest. When you savor something, you enjoy it so much that you want to make it last forever. With that in mind, savor carries a connotation of doing something slowly. Now, I love that concept too. Slow it down, make it last. How do you do that? Once you notice the joy that you're feeling because of the thought that you're thinking or the taste that you're tasting and the thought that you have about the taste, you just savor it. You let it sit and you slow it down and you enjoy it to its fullest. Whether it's your grandchildren singing happy birthday to you over and over and over again, or it's the bite of something that you enjoy a lot, that you can do it bite by bite and enjoy it the minute that you're done. You savor the taste, you savor the experience. Now that I can do that, the summer and the celebrations mean something totally different to me because I know there's not going to be much weight gain. I know I am going to enjoy everything even more than ever because I know how to point my mind towards it. And I also know all about gratitude. And I think gratitude is also a wonderful way to be able to enjoy and experience more, is that you point your mind towards how grateful you are. Like when my grandkids are singing happy birthday to me, I can take a moment and think, where do these 3 children even come from? And how grateful I am for that experience. And then I hear their voices and I savor that. And then I take it, bite a piece of cake, and I enjoy that. There is so much to savor in that time. And also to point my mind and keep it there even longer than the actual moment is going on. So the moment lasts so long, but then you can take your mind and elongate it. You can slow it. You can appreciate it. You can be grateful for it. This is all possible because you are the one that is in charge of your brain. And your brain, if you let it do whatever it wants, will probably say, well, that was nice. Let's move on. What's next? What's next? That's the nature of the brain. What's next? What's going to happen in the future? Let's go there. Forget about this. You know what? I think when I was younger, that's what I used to do. What's next? Instead of what is right here, right in front of me. And can I make it last even longer? How long does it take to sing happy birthday? Well, I mean, if they're going to do it 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. But I can tell you right now that I can still savor that moment right this minute. I can bring it up. I can remember it. I can create the feeling of joy by thinking about it. And I can savor it now. And I did it then, and I can do it again. As my anniversary is here, and I'm going to go away with my husband, I am going to savor not just the food that I eat, but every moment or many moments of what I spend with him. So it's not just about the food. See, before I thought it was just about the food, that celebrating was just about the food, but it's not. I'm not saying it's not about the food. I'm not saying I'm not going to have a few beautiful anniversary meals. I'm just telling you, I can savor it. I can eat between the twos, and I can enjoy it so much more because I can slow it down with my mind and take it in and make it last. That is what I think our minds are capable of doing. And I think that's what makes your life and my life even more beautiful. We make it beautiful by how we think about it. And if you can use this word that I absolutely adore right now, I'm in love with the word savor. That's what I'm going to do for the next few days as I'm celebrating this amazing 45-year marriage. I'm going to savor every moment that I can, and I'm going to watch my mind when it forgets. I'm not going to get mad at myself. I'm just going to bring it back to the present moment. I'm going to slow it down, and I'm going to really be grateful for whatever it is, because gratitude feels very, very good in my body and creates even more joy. And joy is something that's created by our minds. Joy is not created by things. Joy is created by the mind, even when it comes to tasting something. If you eat something and you just eat it as quickly as possible, there's no way you can really taste it and savor it. You might do what I used to do, which was get it all in as fast as I can because I knew I was not going to be eating it again right after Michael's birthday. I was going to stop the whole thing. I was never going to do it again. So get it all in while I can. That was the thinking of my mind until I learned to manage it. And instead of thinking I have to get it all in, now I think I have to slow it all down and savor the moments that are meaningful. How will I know they're meaningful? Because I'm slowing it down enough to notice it. The other thing that I want to talk about just a little bit, because I talked about it in my group and they found it fascinating. Because as we're learning how to celebrate by eating between the twos, how to do a joy and a fuel meal together, but eat between the twos, or how to have an extra joy eat by savoring it bite by bite, I also realized that while I learned how to do all this, I also realized I didn't want to eat and drink as much as I used to think I did. Because sometimes in order for me to celebrate more, when I point my mind towards what I'm celebrating, sometimes I can't eat and drink. I can't do both. I don't want to do both. I want to savor the moment with my loved one and not eat or drink. Sometimes they just don't go together. I never knew that before. And when I was talking about this to my group, they were kind of like, what? But it gave them something to think about. And I want you to think about it too. I'm not saying tell yourself you can't eat and you can't drink. I'm saying that sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes in order to savor an experience when you're with people, you don't want to do both. And that's what I want you to think about this week as you go through it. as you're going through your summer. May it be with vacations. Maybe it's more like me with where you have back-to-back stuff. I used to think, see you later, Deb. I'm not going to be talking to you for a while. Now I know that I get more connected to myself because I don't want to miss a second of anything. I want you to start thinking like that. I want you to, once you can point your mind towards joy, how you can savor the moment by slowing it down more. And I don't care what it is that you're eating or what it is that you're doing, slow it down. And know that sometimes that experience is something like my little grandkids singing happy birthday to me is a moment that I can make last in my mind. I can bring it up anytime I want and create butterflies in my stomach. You can too, by thinking the way I teach to think. And when I'm talking about teaching to think, what I'm talking about is learning to manage your mind. And when you can do that, not only can you lose weight, not only can you stay at the weight that you want, but you can actually enjoy and savor your life more. And I think that's what life is all about. It's precious. You need to slow it down and you need to savor it. Because one thing I've learned over the years is that it goes fast. And if we know wisdom, it goes by fast unless you slow it down. So do yourself a favor. Slow it down, savor it more. If it's something you're putting it in your mouth, bite by bite, stop the minute you're done. If it's something you're experiencing with a person, slow it down, savor it more so you can remember it more. And as always, before I end this podcast, no matter where you go or what you do or who you're with, not only do I want you to savor the moment, but please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. If you've been following my podcast and you're loving all the tools that I teach you, but you're just not sure that you can do it or apply it by yourself, then please go to drdebbutler.com/work with me. And you can find out if the program that I do and the coaching that I do will help you get to where you want to be, to learn all the tools that I teach and be able to make it a part of your life. Just go to drdebbutler.com/work with me. You can set up a free 30-minute mini session.